I hear the helicopter coming in, but it sounds like it's freaking below me. And I've just got my not my sleeping bag out, my mattress, because it's bright orange to flag them down in like the clouds. So I walk onto the far side of the tent, and I can just every now and then see these lights flashing, and they're like 100 yards below me, flying in the clouds. And I hear this chopper like coming in. I'm like, I thought it was gonna smash straight into the mountain. And you see him coming in. Like, I mean, it's like sheer rock straight below me, and the helicopter's below me. And then they seen that they were about to fly into the rock wall, and then they pulled back, and then I just heard them leave, and I'm like, fuck, I'm here now for the next 4 or 5 days. What sucked was, in the panic of them saying, yeah, we're coming to pick you up now, I packed up and got super wet, like packing up in the snow. It was starting to drizzle out of them clouds. So I was already wet. My sleeping bag was wet. Everything was wet from packing up. I'm like, shit, I probably should start hiking out. And then so I looked at my GPS, and it looked at the time like it was a pretty gradual climb all the way down into this creek. Like, so there's a glacier up above me, and it's been melting for however many years, and it's carved out like a bit of a creek. And so it looked safe. And then I started climbing down, and the first, 2 hours wasn't too bad. Like, it was pretty gradual, like a bit of rock hopping and slippery stuff. And I had one little leap to do. It was like 2.5 meters or a meter down onto a rock to go out to this next rock. And it was like there was a big glacier pool below me. And it sounds weird, but you're calculating everything as you're going, So it's like, this is the best place to jump down, because if I did fall, at least I'm landing in water. And that's just a 2-second process in your head, and that's happening all day. Like, there's never a point that you can switch off in that country. Like, you're constantly on the ball, otherwise that's when you're going to come unstuck. Anyway, what I didn't realize was the rock that I was jumping down onto had actually quite a bit of a slope to it, and it had like clear ice, a layer of clear ice on it. Oh. And you got to remember, I got this chamois in my backpack, and friggin' a wet everything, because I packed up in the wet, so the pack weighs a lot. And it weighs a lot anyway, because you're going back for like 14 days. Man, I hit this rock, and my feet come out from under me that fast that like it was just like full chest weight on the rock, bang. Started sliding off the rock backwards, so I'm on my stomach, sliding backwards, legs going first, and I slide off the back of that rock, and I got a heavy backpack on, so it just pulled me. Oh. I just started plummeting down to this ice cold water, and like back neck first, straight into the water. And I just remember hitting the water. It pulled me all the way under, like it was a good enough fall, probably 6-7 meters down into it from where the rock slid off. And it pulled me under. I just remember my breath getting sucked out of me. Like it's crystal clear, like that blue water straight off a glacier. And it ripped me down. And then sort of I struggled to come back up, get to the surface. And by the time I got to the surface, because it was flowing pretty hard, it was pushing me into one of the drainage chutes from it. And then so I hit this drainage chute, sort of scrambling, trying to grab on, and then it pulled me down legs first as well, like down into the chute, in the next lot of water. Then by the time I got to that point, there was no going back up. There was no chance I could go back up, because it's dropped me into a spot where I wasn't on the sides of the bank anymore. I was stuck in this glacier melt. And then I ended up getting out of there, and I got to the next point, and there was like a big tree like falling down in the water. There's no trees on the side, it's just whatever's been washed down over the years, like a big stump. And I ended up wrapping my hand around that, my arm around that, get to my legs, and then like wade twice as much again, because now everything's full of water and soaked.
You still have the pack on?
Yeah, I still got the pack on. And then I got up on the rock then, and it's just like one rock in all this water. And then it's a fucking long story, so I'll probably skip a few bits. But I end up like fighting with it for the rest of the day. And then I end up falling over another 2 times. One time I actually had to volunteer to jump. I had nowhere to go. I was just like stuck in this little canyon in the water, and I literally had to come up with the guts to be like jump into the next water chute, which is just like a slide cut out of the rocks from the water running down there for fucking millions of years. And I've still got my backpack on. I can't leave nothing, because that could be what saves me at the end of the day. I've got a sleeping bag. I've got other clothes in there. I got meat from the chamois. I had the skin from the chamois. I still had everything in there. And I like. Have you ever done anything where you fucking like properly got to convince yourself to do it? Because like I didn't know if that was going to kill me going to the next step or if that was going to save my life. And then so you're calculating all that and then having to have the guts to actually jump into the next chute of water and go down. Man, I just remember just fucking doing it. And I jumped perfect. I landed on the backpack. I put all the weight on the backpack, slid into the next bit, just like pumped with adrenaline, right? So I'm not even feeling the cold at this point because adrenaline's just going sick. And I end up going down a bit further, and then I could just hear this like deafening sound of water. And I'm like, fuck me, Dad, like what next? Because constantly it seemed to be like, what next, what next, what's next? And I hear this deafening sound of water, and I get to the fucking edge, and it's like 400 yards. Straight down.
Oh, my God.
And it's just like then it was like, no, there's no going any further. You're like, to go further is definitely deaf. You need to work something out here, you know.